Michal, can you hear me?
Hi, Andre.
Hi.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And I can also see the screen.
Great. Great. So, hi, Andre. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our session today about what's new in OO 1060 and also 1051. I'm Michal, and with Lucian, we will introduce you the major features, including nice demonstrations as well. So, just a frame for our session today. First, I will show the features by releases, so it will be clear which release contains which features. And then we will go through them according to domains. I will introduce central features and demo them, and then Lucian will introduce and demo the authoring features and the content features. Okay, so we start. In OO 1051 was released last December. We had in Central the timeout feature that enable you to limit the execution duration in your entire environment. So the admin can be sure that flows will not keep running forever. In Studio, there is a new capability to switch workspaces, and also the projects are now displaying in a sorted order. In O1060, as you can see, is going to be released by the end of this month. We will have new features around the RASes. First, the reverse RAS, which is a new flavor of RAS that the only difference is that now Central is the one that initiates the communication with the RAS. As you know, in OO10X, up until now, when you install a RAS, it connects to Central. But I will go, of course, in more detail in a minute. We have the adaptive RAS, which enables the RAS to auto-update, to be adaptive to the, to get adaptive to the version of OO Central. We have a new UI, look and feel, rebranded, with the general rebranding of HPE to Hewlett Packard Enterprise. We have new supported environments in which most of it is around the new database supports. We have a cool new capability in Studio that allows you to refactor your flows and by a search and replace references. There is an option to import content back from HPLN in Studio. And we have Osia, our authoring CLI. So let's go deeper to the features. So first I will go through all the central features in some general description and major principles, and then I will demonstrate. So as I said, the reverse RAS is reversed in the way it communicates with Central. It addresses deployments where RASers cannot access OO Central themselves. In most cases, it is because followed restriction, where the RAS resides in a lower zone, a security zone, than Central. So up until now, it was challenging to create this connection, and now you can install the reverse RAS. As I said, how it is solved the problem. You install the RAS. It doesn't initiate the connection to Central during the installation, as is happening with standard RAS. But instead, it waits for the Central to connect to it. Um, the technology that is used to enable it is WebSocket. Okay, so after the central initiate the HTTP connection, the connection is upgraded to WebSocket. So it's important to understand that logically the RASes are the same. Okay, the only difference is the way the connection. And you can have a mixture of standard RASes and reverse RASes together in your deployment. So we understand that it is targeting mainly managed service providers, whether the RAS is in-house or at their customers, or customers that if you have a distributed environment with more strict security restrictions between the data centers, so it's probably also helping. So to be a bit more specific, as I said, we have two flavors, and during installation today you can choose which type of RAS you want. I will show it in the demo, so I go quicker now. And afterward, in Central, you will have to add this RAS because, as I said, it doesn't connect automatically to Central, but wait for the Central to connect to it. This is about the reverse RAS. Next, we have the adaptive RAS, as we also call it auto-upgrade RASes. So as we know, all OO components must have the same versions. So when you upgrade to new OO release, you should upgrade all your central, RASes, and studios in order to the system to function properly. So as of actually next version, the RASes will be able to upgrade automatically, but still the admin will have the control over the process, as it will be done in two phases. First, the RASes will prepare themselves to the upgrade. This will be done beyond the scene, in parallel to the general functioning of the RASes in the former version. They will do the preparation. What is the preparation? The preparation is downloading the new bits and validating some prerequisites like disk space, permissions, and so on. So the admin can prepare the RASes, and then after the central is really upgraded, to upgrade them really. So this results in really minimizing the system downtime that is needed for the upgrade, because the heavy parts are being done even before you put the system down. Okay, the heavy parts are usually the parts where you have to download the new bits and to see if there are any issue. And another thing that it solves, that you don't need to book or to plan a change window for touching the RASes, because you don't have to physically access the RASes anymore. All the work is done remotely from Central. So as we see, the value also in the tiniest environments, even here in our development environments, we use it all the time. It's highly valuable if you have many RASes, or if you have RASes on end customer sites and you don't have a free access to them. So now you can do it remotely. So I forgot to mention that probably the screenshots looks a bit weird to you, because they are rebranded with the colors of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. We had the opportunity to refresh the look and feel, and to introduce a cool and new UI. The timeout features that maybe some of you already experienced, as it was introduced in 1051. give you the admin the ability to limit the flow execution in central. So flows that stuck in running for a long time, either because they were designed badly, or more commonly maybe a target system is down and not responding. So now the admin can limit the run duration. It is possible globally for the entire system, and also per flow. If, for example, you have a flow that you don't want to limit in the timeout, or the opposite, its duration is very, very long, and you don't want to push the entire timeout of the system up, you can set specifically the timeout of this flow. New supported environment. First of all, we have larger environment in the manner of larger number of RASes that you can scale up in your topology. We have tested it and it works. Important note is that you have to follow some configurations that are documented in the tuning guide, especially for the load balancer. Okay, this was I think the bottleneck, I would say, for a larger number of RASes. We did see some degradation in performance, in throughput, which we have in our roadmap to handle. But the good thing is that it does work properly. In the database area, we support quite much versions, MSSQL 2014, Postgres 9.4 and 9.5, and MySQL 5.7. Another addition is that OO Studio is now supported over Windows 10. I will now go to the demo and then pause for questions, okay? Okay. So I will start with the reverse RAS. I already launched the installation, and when I pick, I want to install a RAS. Now there is a new screen that that allows me to select which flavor of RAS I want to install, whether it's a standard RAS, which is the RAS that you know up until now, or reverse RAS. When I select reverse, and here you have all the explanation what is what. And if I select reverse RAS, now I have to configure how the connection information about this RAS, how the central will connect to this RAS. So first I have to give some shared secret. The shared secret will be used later on to validate that the correct central is connected to the correct RAS. So I have to create this secret here. I retype it so it will be validated. This is the address that this RAS will listen on. Okay, this is my IP actually, and here I can select the protocol, and I can test it, and that is practically it. The rest you know from the past. So now going to OO. Let's log in. Up. Okay. So first of all, welcome to the new UI. Okay. Still, we have here 4 workspaces as before. I will go to the system configuration. To the workers topology and workers list, and here I can see all the workers and of course RASes in my system. So we have here a new column called type. that allows me to quickly differentiate which worker is what. So I have here the three types that we have. Why three? Because it's not because we are talking here about workers as well, and this is a central worker because we know the central itself contain its own worker that knows to run flows as well. So this is the central worker, and we have this standard RAS, and I already added a reverse RAS in advance, but let's do it again. So maybe I will just finish the installation. Okay. Not sure if we'll have time, but I will show it anyway. So here now I'm adding a new RAS, a new reverse RAS. So I have to give the connection and information of this RAS. So I put the IP, and I think I chose this port, and I hope I type well this secret, but let me see if it finished. Oh, I got lucky. Okay, so first I have to test. I have to test that it founds the RAS as well. It does, and now I will just save it, and it's supposed to add a new RAS to my system. Okay, it's done, and this is the new RAS. Those two, as we can see, are reverse RAS, and important to see that I have here the information which central is connected to those RASes. So it's important indication, and also, by the way, if something is changing in the connection details of the RAS, I can edit it. One note is important is that if something happens to this central that owns a RAS, automatically another central in the cluster get connected to the RASes. Okay, so again, important to know that the differences between the RASes ends in the type, and they both functions exactly the same. Now I would like to show you the adaptive RAS. We have here a new screen that its purpose is to manage the upgrade the upgrade process. So there are four steps recommended to follow. The first one is uploading the RAS upgrade file to Central, because what will happen is that in the next version, okay, we will publish a separated upgrade for the RASes and put it in the SSO portal. Then you can download it and upload it here. I already did it to save us some time. It's about 300 megabytes, not big. And this is actually the bit that should be distributed to all the RASes so they will know to upgrade themselves. So this was the first step. The second step is what I mentioned before about preparing the RASes. And please note that up until now, I'm working in the previous version. This is the admin work, and the system keeps running flows and does whatever it does. Also, the preparation step, happens in the same phase. The system didn't went down yet. So in this step, I choose the RASes that I want to prepare to upgrade and prepare them. I can track the progress of the preparation. In this stage, the RASes check that they have enough space for the new installation. I don't know if there is any permissions restrictions, etc. And most importantly, they are downloading the new bits, the upgrade zip. Okay, and here I can follow in the upgrade details. I can follow it. I see that the first one is already is more advanced. The third step will be to upgrade central. Okay, this is the point where I should put the system down and upgrade my central. But and then the first step will be upgrading the RASes. Okay, but keep in mind that the heavy part of downloading the bits was done before. If any problems are raised, I didn't demo it, but I will get the errors here in the upgrade details, and I will be able to address them. So to be quicker, again, my next step will be to upgrade the central. Of course, I will not do it now. And then when all my RASes, I will do it where all the RASes that I want to upgrade eventually will reach to the ready to upgrade status. Excuse me for this funny version number in my dummy upgrade file. And afterwards, again, I can select one RAS or the entire RASes or do it gradually that I want to upgrade. The last feature that I want to show very quickly and then I'll pause for questions is the timeout. In the system settings, I have here run settings where I can put I can set timeout. It means that flows that will reach this period of time will be automatically cancelled. Okay, I put it here on 1 minute, and let's go and run some flow. I will run this flow for 2 minutes. Okay, it is running. What timeout does, it interrupts the flow about the time that I set. We have a grace of about, I don't know, 30 seconds to 1 minute. And it will get to the cancel timeout expired, as you see here. I can also filter for this specific status. And we should see it cancelled in maybe 30 seconds or so. Here I want to pause for questions and hopefully it will cancel as we speak.
One question about the timeout. So if I am submitting or if I'm running this flow through the API, does the API currently, or is there a new option in the API so I can supply this when I do the post of the rest?
You don't have to supply it. It works seamlessly. If you trigger the flow via API, it doesn't matter. Okay.
No, the
it
point
either
is
you have this, yeah.
You have this system-wide configuration for timeout, and you have also per flow configuration. This
Exactly,
per
I
flow
forgot.
configuration, can I specify it from the API or?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
yeah. I will just show it because I forgot, and thank you for reminding me. So per flow, in the flow library, I have here the timeout settings, and the default is taken from the system, but I can override it with no timeout if I want this flow to not be limited, or with custom timeout. Okay? And of course, you can set it via API, as actually all the functionality of OO Central is exposed by the REST API.
But do I set it when I run it, or I have
No.
to first modify the flow and then when I run it, it's just taking the configuration that I have set before.
The second one. You have to set
Okay.
the flow.
I first have to go and modify, set the flow that needs to be custom 5 minutes, and then I have to go to the executions and run it, correct?
Right, right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
Michal, there are 2 questions which are not answered yet in the questions section.
Can you help me with finding them? I see. Andre, maybe you can read them to me?
Yes, so I will read you the 3rd question actually. So the question is from Anand. Why should we install the same type of RAS in the same system? Well, we shouldn't, but Michal did that for demo purposes. Reverse and standard makes sense, but I see the same icon. And Anand asked you to clarify this.
Okay, so the icon is not quite the same. The difference is the direction of the arrow.
This is Anand. I'm asking about the second and third one.
Okay.
The third and fourth one in this case.
Those two?
No, the third and fourth one.
Okay. Here I created 2 RASes. Yeah, it's a bit funny that they are all on my machine, right? It's just for the demo purpose, so it's a bit misleading. But of course, in real world, it will be in different hosts. And in this case, I have 2 reverse RASes in 2 different hosts. Okay.
Is it 2 different hosts?
So in my it's not in my case. They are not 2 different hosts because I installed them. They both on the same machine just for the demo. But it is misleading. In the real world, it will be 2 different hosts. Okay. I just wanted to have here a list of a few RASes, and I installed all of them on my machine actually. So this is why it's confusing.
So what's bad to have 2 RASes on one host? If it's a very, very big host with 128 gigabytes of memory, you might be better having 2 or 3 different JVMs running with smaller settings than having one big JVM process for the RASes. I guess maybe a case in which you can run a lot of RASes in one box.
By the way, you can run few RASes on the same host, and we have customers that I know that it works for them because they want to, I don't know, same host to serve different OO clusters for some reason. But here really it's just misleading because I wanted to have, probably I should have used a different host. Now I found the questions. Allow for rolling upgrade of an OO cluster, so you never have to take all down. Yes, there is a question regarding, and this will be I'm sorry, but the last question because we have to move forward. To allow rolling upgrade of all cluster central as well, so you will never have to take all down. Yes, I guess that this will enhance even more the upgrade. If you can also share with us in which cases this relatively short downtime is not an option. This was my question to Tim, but you can also answer maybe offline. I think that we will move to Lucian.
Okay, sounds great. Lucian, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, good. So, do you also see my screen?
I can see your screen, yes.
Okay, thank you, Andrei. So, first of all, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lucian Revnic, and I'm going to present what's new in studio and authoring, and then if we have enough time, I'll go over content as well. So first, allow me to start with Studio, and I'll start with 1051 with a short recap on what we did in 1051. As you know, this release is already available for you. When it comes to Studio, first of all, we added a feature in Studio to display the projects alphabetically when it comes to the projects panel. And this applies also to content packs or to system properties and system accounts when it comes to how the projects and the content packs are displayed. So as you see in the screenshot, this is useful mainly because before 1051, the order was not alphabetically. So starting from 1051, we enabled this alphabetic ordering to be able to find, for example, a project or a content pack easier in your in your studio. Then another feature that we added in 1051 is called switch workspaces. And what it means that in 1051, the user has the ability to configure different workspaces in Studio and have different projects in these workspaces, and also be able to switch between them. So when is this useful? This is useful, for example, when you want to work, for instance, for different projects, for different let's say departments or different companies, and you want to store your projects in a specific workspace for a certain company and for the other company in another workspace. Before 1051, all the projects and content packs were in just one workspace located in the users folder. So starting from 1051, the user has the ability to switch between the workspace using a file, a menu item that we added in the file menu, and also to remember the last workspaces that were used. As you see here in the screenshot, there are some options on specifying or choosing a custom folder where, for instance, you want to store the workspace and the project. Now, this is what we added in 1051. I'll move now and explain what will be available in 1060. First of all, an import content from HPE Live Network capability, and this is mainly to continue the work that we started when it comes to HPLN searching and embedding the capability to do search on HPLN directly from Studio. So basically, before 1060, the user had the ability to do searches from Studio on HPLN, but in 1060, we are also adding the capability to download the content pack and import it directly in your Studio. So if we want to see how this look is, for instance, in the HPLN Live Network search panel, we added a button similar with the one that you see on the screen, that as soon as you do the search, for example, for a certain operation, and you find it in a certain content pack, like I did here in OSAP LVM content pack, you can click the download and import, and this will automatically download and import the content pack in your studio. Okay, so this is about importing content from HPLN. Another feature that we are adding is called search and replace references. This feature is, first of all, a refactoring capability that we are adding in Studio. And the main scenario is, for instance, when you are using a certain operation or a flow and you want to replace it with another operation or flow, but you want to avoid doing it like one by one, and maybe you want to do like a mass replace, or you want to have a tool that is doing this replace automatically for you without the need for looking for what's using or what's using this and go one by one and do the replace. So this is search and replace references. And one use case that you may think of, as I mentioned, there are flows that are using, for example, deprecated content or deprecated operations and flows, and you want to replace deprecated operations flows usage with the non-deprecated version, right? And just for you to have an understanding how this looks like, it's similar with search and replace capability that exists in different IDEs or editors. The idea is that we added capability to specify what to search, what to replace with, a scope section on you specifying where you want to do the search, and then some details on how to serve the merging items. For example, if you want to keep the original inputs, if you want to override the inputs, and do different actions on the scriptlets of descriptions at the step level, because this will actually replace at the step level the operation. So I have a demo in a few minutes on this, and I'll present this how this is working. But as you see, there are some options like replacing or finding next, or replace all, that will do the mass replace for you in all the flows that are using a specific operation or flow. Another feature that we are adding in 1060 is called OO Shell for authors, or for short OSHA. And this OSHA is actually a CLI that in this version of OO will allow the user to create content packs from CLI automatically. And one of the use case that we saw from user is that there are CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous delivery systems like Jenkins, for example, where the users are creating content. Now, as part of this CI/CD process of developing content and content packs, there is a need to, for instance, automate the creation of the content pack without, for instance, starting Studio. You want to do it automatically from CLI, right? Now, today, before 1060, there is an option that we provide through OO SDK that allows the users to automate this CP creation from command line, but this requires Maven knowledge, and we noticed that not everyone is familiar with Maven and this capability, so that we created OSHA that it's a simple CLI that it's supposed to abstract the creation of the content pack without the need of, for instance, Maven knowledge. Okay, so as a user, you'll be able to start OSHA that is located in Studio Tools folder and see a view similar with this one. Of course, with different capabilities like argument or command completion or text completion automatically, and also help capabilities, like if you type help, you get all the commands that are available, and then from that list you start using it. So as I mentioned in the first version, specifically 1060, we were looking into the creation of the content pack from CLI capability as the first use case for Osia. Now, allow me to switch to my remote desktop and show you a small demo. Okay, so what I have here is Studio 1060. As you may know, Studio, and you may see, Studio was rebranded as well, so that's why you see the UI a bit different with green and so on. Now, first of all, I'm in one of my Acme production workspace, and suppose I have, let's say, a ServiceNow integration that I created using HTTP client operation, and I've learned that a new content pack to integrate all with ServiceNow is available on HPLN. So I will do an HPLN search to see, for instance, if I have any create incident operation available in any content pack or in ServiceNow content pack. So as you see here, I found the create incident located in the ServiceNow content on HPLN. And I have here a download button, download from HPLN. So I'll click on this, choose download. So now Studio will download the content pack from HPLN, and it will also import the content pack into my dependencies panel. Now, of course, here I can go and look, okay, what I have here. I have changes, I have incidents, I have problems, operation, or subflows. Now, supposing I want to replace this step, that is an HTTP client post operation, with, let's say, create incident from this content pack that I just imported from HPLN. Now, I can do this if I go to edit and replace, or I can just click Ctrl R, and Ctrl R will automatically select and populate what I've selected, the step, and I start typing here. I start typing here, the operation. Now you see Studio displays a list of operations and suggestions based on what I type. So let's say I want to replace it with create incident from ServiceNow. And then, okay, I have different options to specify, for instance, where do I want to search? I want to search to replace just in this flow. So I'll keep the options as they are. So in this case, I will click replace all because I want to do replace all. And, I'm getting a message saying in how many places this was replaced. And if you saw in the flow, the icon was changed mainly because if I open this subflow, it was replaced with the reference to the ServiceNow subflow. So basically, the HTTP client post operation usage was replaced with the ServiceNow out of the box create incident. By default, the flow is unsaved. So of course, I need to do tests and then save the flow. But basically, this is what search and replace does. And as I mentioned, now I'm in the Acme production workspace. I can go back and switch to my own workspace. And in my own space, let's suppose that I have other projects like maybe Docker or something else, and I can continue working on those projects independent of the production workspace that I was earlier. Now, basically, this is what I wanted to demo when it comes to Studio. Do you have any questions, maybe? So Darren is asking when is this available? You are referring, Darren, to 1060. So the target is by the end of this month to be available. This is the target. OSHA, there is a question if OSHA will be available on Linux. In this release will be available included in Studio, and as you know, Studio is supported on Windows only at this time. But if you need this for Linux, we will be glad to follow up and understand the needs and your requirements.
Isn't OSHA written in Java?
Yes,
So
it is.
Should work probably on Linux, I guess.
Yeah, but when it comes to official statements, it's also
Okay.
So,
So
how it was tested and so on.
It's
So
a disclaimer, more or less, rather than not really working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to present next what's new in our content. So first of all, as you know, our content is versions are independent of our platform versions. So I will use color coding to represent the content that we released in the previous month versus what's coming next. So there is no relation between the content pack version and platform version. So first of all, in the last 3 months, we released virtualization content pack containing a new integration with VMware NS6. VMware NS6, for the ones that are not familiar with it, is a software-defined network solution by VMware that enables the management of different software-defined entities like routers, switches, edges, and connect them to virtual machines. In addition, we are supporting VMware vCenter 6.0 Update 1, and we also added some fixes around existing content in the virtualization content pack. When it comes to the cloud content pack, we are supporting OpenStack Kilo and OpenStack Liberty, the latest releases from OpenStack, and we also enhance the compute integration, the Nova integration from O to support API microversioning, meaning we can specify specific version other than the major versions like 2.0, 3.0. We can specify micro version like 2.1, 2.2 if we want to use different versioning of the APIs when we do the integration. Also, we release a new content pack that is the integration between O and SAP Landscape Virtualization Management, or for short LVM. This content pack contains use cases for doing operations like SAP system clone, copy, or refresh in SAP LVM. In general, without LVM, these actions, for instance, to clone systems or to copy systems, are very time consuming, and SAP released this product, LVM product, just to facilitate and automate the management of large SAP landscapes. So from our perspective, in the content pack for SAP LVM, we have flows that enable the user to do these type of actions. These are possible through what is called a template. So templates are a mechanism that is offered by LVM to specify different actions like cloning, copying, and also the steps that LVM needs to execute when doing the certain action. So from our perspective, what the user needs to do, he first needs to have some templates defined in LVM with some placeholders that allows the external systems to provide specific parameters values, and from all, basically we have the ability to provide values for these templates and execute these templates in LVM. As soon as a task is launched, we need from time to time to get details about the task. For example, the progress of the task, or the status of the task, or status of the steps that are executed. So for that, we also providing content that allows the user to query tasks and get different details during the execution. Now, what is coming next? First of all, we rebranded the OO content packs to be more aligned with HPE. And what this means we signed the content packs with new digital certificates to specify HPE instead of Hewlett Packard. And with this, we basically releasing a new version for all the standard content packs. And all this will be available, of course, on HPLM portal. In addition, the HP Solution Content Packs was renamed to HPE Solutions Content Pack. And not related to the rebranding, but related more to this content pack, we added some operations to be able to run different commands on OMI managed nodes. This is with OMI 10.10 support, because this capability was added specifically in OMI 10.10 so that all users to be able, or other users of course, to be able to execute commands directly to the managed nodes using the OMI REST APIs. Now we are releasing a new version of the Service Anywhere content pack. The Service Anywhere content pack was previous the Community content pack, and now we are labeling it as HPE standard. And we also did some refactoring on it to be more aligned with HPE standard content packs. And from the use cases perspective, we are covering incident changes and problems. Another ITSM integration is the integration between OO and ServiceNow. We are releasing a content pack labeled the first version of this content pack that allows incident changes and problem management through the ServiceNow REST APIs. In addition, we have an integration with Office 365, and specifically here the abilities to do different actions related to user management and mailbox management. With this, we are releasing also two content packs that we call process orchestration content packs. The first one is request fulfillment content pack that provides different service request fulfillment use cases. In this version, we added some flows that enable the employee onboarding use case in different deployments, such as on-premise deployment, where a company wants to do employee onboarding, for example, using products, on-premise products like Active Directory or Exchange, but also the off-premise configuration, for example, when the user onboarding needs to happen on Office 365, for example. In addition, the remediation content pack that contains sample flows for simple remediation tasks will be also released. The content packs that you see here and that I mentioned will be available with 10.60 and will be also available with 10.60 Community Edition. With that, I want to mention some new links that we have. First of all, we migrated to the HPE Live Network new portal. So in case you log in these days, you'll see the enhancements that we did there. And also with the migration, we have a new forum on HPE communities that we encourage you to use. With that, I want to thank you and wish you a great day.